Yo. All right, let's do this. Let's go over to... Yes. Good morning. How the heck are we? Didn't get to trade yesterday. There's a couple things against my rules, and maybe, I mean, for those of you that know what my rules are, this would be a little bit of a repeat, but I don't tend to trade. This was a tough day to trade yesterday. If we go back, we saw the news and yesterday's range, right? So when it's outside that range, you call that outside day. And when it is outside day up, I don't want to short. No shorts for me. But also with that huge push to think that we were going to go much higher, it was also really, really hard for me to take longs as well. So I didn't take longs. I didn't take shorts. I just kind of sat on my hands, which was brutal because up here I have displayed my Lucid accounts. I'm under $100 away from passing all my Lucid accounts. Don't have a code for them. I don't know if they pay out. I assume they do. That's the same with all prop firms. It's the wild, wild west out here. But for right now, under $100. So for me, one trading day. Now coming into, so that's why I didn't stream yesterday, which is brutal because I'm off of work right now. Now we come into today where we have yesterday's high, yesterday's low. So we're in range, but we also know that I don't like to trade until we are at 50% of ATR. So at 878, half of that is like what, 4 and change? 878 divided by 2? 439. So the reason that I try and avoid that is we just have, if the expected range is somewhere in the high 800s, we have this huge range at which we can expand to. And I don't really want to be a part of that 300, 400, 500 point expansion. So right now with it at 254, I need almost 200 more points either below the overnight lows somewhere around 900 or 200 points above, which would pretty much get us into yesterday's high. So I'm going to be honest. We're going to be sitting on our hands and we're going to be watching a little bit today. And then I will consider down here at the -2s, because when we get to the -2s down here, we can see that we'd be outside that range and it would be very, very close because we have value area high from yesterday and value area low from yesterday and value area low from today, pretty much in this range right here, which happens to be right at the -2s. So that's an example of where our rules necessarily aren't set in stone. Like they're not gospel. They are a framework. And then with seat time and being in front of the computer and seeing things, you can kind of understand when it might be acceptable to maybe bend the rules a little bit, or when it might be acceptable to take a trade that doesn't necessarily align. All right. So right now we are playing right here and we're just going to be waiting for that to happen. And if that happens, we'll be good to go. We'll be ready to rock. Other than that, another patient day. We had some news, but all the news was in the morning. There's some green folder economic news throughout the day today. I think the next one is like 10 a.m. There's something at 10 a.m., but no red folder news, so don't have to worry about any of that. I will also promote the fact that if you follow my other channel and you're not in my Discord, my Tesla puts were assigned early. So there will definitely be a video coming today about that and why that is a terrible idea for all the options people out there. So a couple people in here right now. It is the morning time, so we will just be sitting and waiting and see what happens. If there are any questions, please leave them in chat. Oh, didn't want to do that. Is it Alt Alternate that expands it. Nope. Control. Which one stretches it? I thought it was shift. There it is. Shift stretches it. There. That's what I want. That's what I want. So we'll get some tunes on. I kind of just want lo-fi. Let's play this. Let's see what happens. That first one's weird. Yeah, no, I kind of like that. That's just one song for 1 minute. That's not going to do it. Why can't we just get... It's so much easier to get lo-fi music on Spotify. What else? See how that music goes. At least there won't be any ads. So playing right around VWAP. We would also play up here. Oh, drivers and updates. Cool. I wouldn't even love that. I kind of would almost wait for yesterday's value area high because that would get me my expansion to ATR. So that's probably where my first order is going to be on the sell side. We'll see what happens. Good morning. Good morning. Work conference call. Yeah. I mean, one day this would be the job, and then you'll be on that call as a hobby. I'm blessed. I am off from work this week. No work for me. I can't believe how fast this break has gone, though, for me. But when I get back, I'm pretty much done with school. I got 8 Mondays left, but who's counting? 8 Mondays left. Probably want to, if you see all those orders above on the Bookmap, probably go up and see what those are doing. Really trying to pass these Lucid accounts today. Let's go. That's the goal. Under $100 left. $100 day passes me 5 Lucid accounts, and we're back to funded accounts after the Apex debacle. Oh, remind me later, please. Days like this, they really bring out the patience in you. Hey, what's up, Josh? Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, small channel. Like, small channel, 2 to 3 to maybe 5. I think last Tuesday, last time I streamed, I think we had 5 people in here at one time. Let's go. But yeah, definitely smashing the like button. Definitely tells the algorithm, okay, it's not a bot. There's actually a person here trading. Oh yeah, just blasted through those orders. See, the Bookmap, it acts as a magnet. I mean, obviously, it's not the Bookmap doing that. It's just I'm a picture learner because I'm a little slow. So I like seeing those pictures. So when you see me looking up like this is what I'm looking at. I'm watching the Bookmap, seeing if it wants to keep climbing higher, pulling off more of those liquid orders. Nothing below, so it looks like only ups for right now. Definitely not predicting anything. I don't need to predict anything. I have my orders on the lines, and that's going to be that. Value area high, lining right up with the minus ones. But if you're just joining, this is a really important number for me. This 254, really, really important number for me compared to the 7-day ATR of 878. It's got to be A+ for me to take a setup below 50% of that ATR. It really does, and it's tempting, especially in a situation where there's more confluence. Like we have yesterday's volume point of control with this, with a +1. Like that might be a situation in which I'm willing to take this knowing, all right, so this is where you have a little bit of situational fluency here. Looking and knowing that this is probably most likely with the low range, most likely going to be a very early exit, very early entry. So I need to be willing to take heat all the way up to yesterday's value area high. So before entering the trade, I need to decide, is that a risk that I'm willing to take?
Order
And the answer
submitted.
to that is yes. Now, I've been burnt by that before, not being patient and not waiting. And I guess maybe this is how people get so close to passing evals and then they don't. But I'm okay with it. I said, especially if we're looking here, this is the 70s. So this is right 4,800. So right around 4,800, nice psychology level too. So we'll see what happens. You can go take quick bathroom breaks when you're trading trading micros. And especially when those micros are just bopping around at VWAP. Nothing crazy going on. Who wants to film me? Come on. Come on down. Come on up and film me. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for hopping in. Go down. Check the ES. What's going on over here in the ES? Oh, see, I missed this one on the ES. Oh, crap. I missed the ES. That would have been a perfect trade. Perfect ES trade right there. Missed it. Over here daydreaming about the Dow. Missed the ES trade. Bummer. ES still below 50% ATR as well, so not sure I would have taken it. It's easy now in hindsight to be like, oh, I would have taken this. But even with this and back up to here, I probably wouldn't have. It's good to know that in hindsight, you wouldn't have done anything anyway. The Dow still wants to come up. The Dow still wants a piece of all these orders. All of this it wants. There it goes. It wants all of that. That's going to fill me. Come on. Oh, by a tick? Come on. A little bit more. A little more. A little more, please. Come get me. Come get me. Ah, you jerk. Yeah, Josh, I get both sides of those points. It's way less stressful. Even like today, like the quote unquote rules I have, I really shouldn't even have an order here. So that's a little bit of impatience. But as far as the DRB, man, go into Tradovate and lock yourself out. Like that's not even an issue I need to think about. I mean, I do have the discipline to stop, especially now doing this for a little bit now and knowing that my green days are going to far exceed my red days. So it's okay just to take that little bit of a red day. But even with that said, inside Tradovate, I still have myself locked out. Whenever I hit my DRB, it liquidates me for the day. So if you're struggling with that, just go in and set that up. I think everyone that uses Tradovate does have that feature. I'm sure there's some that don't, but yeah, just lock yourself out, man. And then when you use the lockout feature a couple times, and then you come back in a day or so and things work out, you realize like, oh, I should. Being a good loser is good in this game, right? So if you use Tradovate or whatever you're using to lock yourself out and take that decision away from you, but then you see the feedback of that decision, you realize I should be doing that on my own, right? I think the more red days you take, the easier it becomes to take a red day. And I remember, and maybe it was one of these accounts where like I hadn't had a red day in a while, And then I opened up some more evals and I had a red day that day. And I'm like, oh, now I'm in the hole. But because I had seen so many green days and been so successful, it was way easier for me to just be like, I started that one off with red, but the next 10 days are probably going to be green. Like I'm not sure when my last red day was, but it was a bit ago. Let me see. My last red day was here. I got to go to all accounts. Actually, that's just the one account. So my last red day was on the 27th. 2 Fridays back to back, but like you see all the greens and you're like, I should take red days. You know, I should definitely take red days. And then April's been pretty good so far. Not too shabby. And I'll take that. Miss me by a tick again. Come on, bud. Come on now. Fill me out. I'm moving it right to the line now. Right to the line. And we see that the reason I'm taking this below my rules, if you weren't here a minute ago, is the confluence of yesterday's point of control, which really probably would have been a better entry. Like I could have been in here, but then we also have value area high. So between those two and the plus ones, that's worth the risk to me. And like I said, I need to understand that we ain't going anywhere. Like this is another one that we got to put in. Now we're in. And I also need to be willing to add again up here at yesterday's value area high. So like that's the decisions that you need to make and have set in your mind before you even get in. And right now we are going to take profit down here. Hopefully get ourselves a green one on the board. Oh, there it goes, pumping. And on Tuesday, we saw things go pretty against me quickly. So if you didn't see that, you can see how I manage that. And then if things go against me quickly here, we're just going to manage that as well. You know, it's going to be fine. And if it doesn't turn around, we just we just press the close button, and then we go about our day. Simple as that. We come back tomorrow. It's not that serious. Like I'm not trolling on you, but like the DRB thing, that's the easiest thing to fix, with the fact that you can now just set your brokerage or set whoever you're trading with to shut you out automatically. Like that's great news. Pulling all the way back. What are we doing here? So I just kind of want to get one on the board here if I can. With the smaller range so far, that also leads to smaller distances between the standard deviations. So like generally going from the plus ones down to VWAP is generally like a 100-point trade. Where this is not going to be that much if we come down and hit it. Should we just take some green? Now, yesterday's volume point of control is holding it up now. We see all these orders up here on the Bookmap. It can go down or up right now. I'm hoping that it wants to come down and mess around with these orders before these 100s, but we'll see what happens. Right back up again. That is a spot, by the way, that if we're at 50% ATR, I'd probably enter again here. I probably would. Can't right now. Like I said, this is a pretty high risk trade as far as my trading standard. It's a high risk trade because we are so far below 50% on the 7-day ATR. And I can't put another micro on knowing all these ads that I have to be willing to take above. Right? That's why it's a high risk, and that's why I can't re-add there. I do have no problem adding up there at the +2s though. Which, as we just saw, like it might want to go back up there and do it again. When you trade micros and there's low risk, I almost kind of want to get filled there and get some inventory. Now with another swing low, I could be a little bit more comfortable bringing this back down to VWAP. With the strategy, we have dynamic entries and exits, depending on how the bars are going to move, depending on how our EMAs move throughout time. Like over here on the 30-minute, this is my 233. So like yesterday just whacked out things completely. It's probably going to take a couple days for all those things to settle out. Suck it down, go. Yeah, look at all the orders in the books. I'd be far-fetched to say that like it's not going to try and come eat some of these hundreds up. Right? It really wants to do it. These are going to act like magnets. That's why I can't use them in entries, but like say I had an exit here, I might say, let's move our exit up a little bit because, man, they're just stacking orders at the 100. It's a nice round number, 4,800, right? Algo's like that. See what happens. That's 4,800 right here. So in confluence with the Bookmap, I'm totally expecting to come up and see that 48,100. And then right above that, I think 48.20, that's pretty much the -2s. So you can kind of see how all the orders are hanging out right at where our deviations are. I'm going to just move it just a little bit. Right up to that line. "22 seconds left in this candle." When we see these big expansive candles, we tend to see the next candle open, push just a little bit higher, and then tends to retrace some of this longer candles. But sometimes it just keeps bumping. And that's the beauty of watching this game. We're going to find out if we now open a new candle, we come up a little bit, maybe sweep the highs of that candle, maybe fill me, which would be dope, and then start to retrace. That'd be awesome. Kind of like here, like we had a big candle, kind of hung out, and then retraced. Had this big candle come up, start to retrace, did slowly overnight. See how there's examples of this. Not that one. Bad example. Yeah, these were some. Came down, started to retrace. Yeah, so we see it does happen. Let's keep the relevant stuff on here. Stuff that's relevant to me is yesterday's volume point of control, yesterday's value area high, and yesterday's range high. That range high was a huge wick, right? Straight up, straight down. So all orders above. Is that the end of my playlist? Let's see. We start that one over again. See how much of it wants to retrace. I'm going to use our entry right as a touch point. But like I said, now I'm watching to see. We have to use yesterday's volume point of control as a possible spot we're going to bounce, which also aligns with this 233 EMA. So we definitely want to get below that to be confident on a short-term outcome here. But we look up the Bookmap. Still tons of orders above. Looks like it still wants to go up and get some liquidity up there first. No big deal. Just put an order on the +2s and wait and see what happens. Any of you guys in a position right now? Short with me? Fading me to the long side? Watching? For the options traders, I had my Tesla puts assigned yesterday, and whoever assigned it gave up over $300 of extrinsic value. If you're buying options, never exercise early, especially if you're not getting a dividend. I got to make a video about that because I know the people are wondering how much I'm getting toasted on that Tesla. Made Tesla puts back in February, Friday the 13th. And I said in the video, oh man, I better not be selling Tesla puts on Friday the 13th with a 420 strike. And ever since then, it's dumped like $70. Been rolling. Nope. No bueno. And bounce off my entry again. Thanks. Appreciate you. You don't even want to go like talk to the EMA for a sec. Like go down to, hey, what's up? What are you doing down here? Hi. Yeah, we're 120 now. Orders. 120, yeah. That 120, those orders on the Bookmap, they're pretty much right at the 2s. But now it's looking like it wants to keep going. I'm going to keep touching, just tapping. Just tapping my entry. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, tap. Oh, there's a little touch. A little tap, tap. Man, I look back at hindsight about like the different strategies and stuff that I had and like what would be going through my head right now? Like, oh, is there a fair value gap? Is this support or resistance? Did we break out of our orb yet? Now I'm just like bored watching these things. But man, boredom has just led to success. Boredom has led to success. We're just trying to set a world record now. How many times can we just touch our entry and then bounce off of it? Touch. Oh, yeah. We're green again. Let's go. Not for a long time, though. But we did see some green on the chart. Oh, there it is again. Hello, green. Hello, green. I hear my son walking around. What's up, Brody? What you doing? Are you good? He's good. He's good, bro. He's good. Hanging out in my entry. Here's my entry over here for anybody that just hopped in. We've been in since 9:53. Watching those orders on the Bookmap way up there. Seeing those ones should act as magnets. Highly anticipate we're going to go up and play with those. Hopefully get filled on a +2 here. Not re-entering again at the +1s because we do have a pretty low range on the day as compared to the ATR. So this even being in right now is a little high risk for me. So I'm just being a little bit more cautious with a second entry, a second add. Might even be a little bit cautious or a little bit quicker with my exit, depending on what happens here. Because what I could do is, you know, I could take off maybe at volume point of control, right? I could take this trade here for a little bit of a green. Which would have happened right now. And then I could re-enter here now at the +1s again, but we'll see what happens. Miguel, let me just answer that question in 1 second here. I'm actually having things go my way. I just want to watch it for a second. Let's see. There's a part of me that kind of wants to take off a little bit, but I will definitely talk about the high win rate. Morning, Mike. How are you? All right, so as it bounces back up here, I can answer Miguel's question. Great question. Hi, Brad. Great content. In previous videos, you have a pretty high win rate. Do you attribute that to the way you manage your losses? I have to watch the video again. Or the strategy itself? I think the high win rate is, I think it's due more to the strategy. Managing losses is definitely important. There are times where I would have been out of trades because I was trading minis and micros. And I could say this till I'm blue in the face. The best thing about trading micros is being able to be wrong about your entries. When I was trading minis, right, I'm not great. And finding that perfect entry was always so hard. And I was usually early. Okay. So being early, I couldn't take heat or drawdown to where probably the optimum entry would have been. So I was always stopping out, which was causing me to do losers, to then right away or a couple minutes later, see it go in the direction that I wanted it to go. The most frustrating thing ever. Where like now, a couple minutes ago, we had taken this much heat, but I was down like $20 or so, like nothing crazy. So right now the win rate is, right around 90%. Okay. Now, that's also me taking less trades because the setups that I want are so fixed, and I do just a lot more just waiting around, to be honest. So there's definitely that leads to it, but I think there's a combination of the strategy being a little bit more selective, the rules of mathematics and statistics that, mean reversion is a real thing. It needs to be discussed and it needs to be acknowledged. But yeah, and then I think it's a combination of all. To shorten it all up, I think it could be a combination of all those three. The being patient and having more selective entries, managing the trades well, and then just believing in mathematics and statistics. And the mathematics and statistics part is given to me through the indicators. The way I manage losses is able to be done because I'm trading micros, not minis. So I can be early and wrong with my initial entries. Yeah, that's just, and being able to be patient is just being able to be patient. This honestly was an impatient entry for me. If I wasn't on stream, I don't know if I would have taken it. But like I said, we did have the confluence of yesterday's volume point of control with the value area high of this session. So it did at least make it a little less because we don't have anything that's set in stone. We don't have any like super firm rules. Go down. Guys, I'm going to take this off. That's good enough for me. We have this here. And like I said, it's going to come. Boom. We would have got it. That for me, 27 down. So we're talking, I just gave up $5. $5 to get 15. Like, did I need 20? No. And this goes back to that situational like fluency. We've been in this trade for a little bit. It's not a trade I love taking because of the ATR percentage being so low. It's being a little bit high risk. I'm okay giving up $5. What I don't want to see necessarily today is I don't want to see a bounce off of this swing low down here, which is right at the top of this wick, right? So I'm using that. We do have a little bit of a volume node here, so I actually probably could have been comfortable holding it down. I wouldn't be surprised if we come down and see 4,800 right on the dot before we go back up. But it's just not something that I need to worry about in nickel and dime over $5 or to say like, okay, I'm going to go. Like, yeah, when you exit a trade, it's probably going to do what you wanted it to do. But now let's think about some things that this now allows me to do. Because it was a high risk trade, I am now able to say, all right, if we come back up, now I can re-enter again, and then we'll get another piece on the way back down. Or it allows me to let this thing come all the way back down to our current volume point of control for the session, and now allows me to enter long. So by exiting just a little bit early, just a little bit, right? By exiting $4 early, I now just give myself more options. I've taken risk off the table, and that's the name of the game for me, right? I don't care how much money I make. I care about how much money I lose. So I will gladly give up and lose, quote unquote, $4 to not have this thing pump against me in a situation where the range on the day is only 254 points. So we essentially have 600 points of potential expansion to go today, right? I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, please leave a follow-up. Oh God, yeah. I mean, talking with bag holder forever, the NQ, like, I think trading the NQ for me was just an ego thing. I felt like everyone was doing it. I wanted to call myself a YouTuber. And for those people that just hopped in, we were talking earlier about how the Bookmap acts as a magnet. And there's a link. I don't think I make any money. I think it's just a reference link. But it usually acts as a magnet. And we saw that magnet earlier. Now we're seeing that magnet here. We'll see if it goes down and touches. But yeah, the NQ was just... I wasn't good enough to trade it, so I needed to put that ego aside. And B, like, just why? Why was I entering trades? And then as soon as I was entering trades, immediately thinking to myself, I gotta get out. I gotta get out. Like, my finger was always on the trigger, whether it was take profit or loss. And there was only so long I figured that I could just do that until I was like, wait, you mean to tell me there's a little less volatility, which will be a little more boring, but a little bit more controlled? It's kind of like when I used to ride motorcycles when I was a kid. Yeah, going 150 miles an hour on a crotch rocket is dope, but it's reckless. So yeah, you're going to get that extreme dopamine high, but how long can you drive 150 miles an hour on a motorcycle before it bites you? And when it does bite you, you're going to the ER if you're lucky, where you can still ride the same motorcycle, get the same enjoyment, the wind through your hair, the sounds of the road, the smells of the air, and you could do it at 40, 50 miles an hour. You're probably going to get bit eventually, but now you're probably most likely just going to the ER. So I think about all of the risky things that I've done in my life, And whenever I made it less risky, I was able to stay in the game longer, right? So for me, once again, the NQ is going 150 miles an hour on a motorcycle. Fun, awesome, dope. People look at it. Holy cow, can't believe that guy's doing it. But are you going to be able to do that for 20 years? Answer is probably no. Where if you get yourself a nice cruiser and you're just cruising around the neighborhood at 40, 50 miles an hour, probably still going to get in an accident. Motorcyclist, you're going to go down. But when you go down, you're not blowing accounts. You're not blowing your life, if that makes sense. So going from the NQ down to the Dow, yeah, it's like watching paint dry. But I would rather watch paint dry and have this be my calendar. Right? Small fall. Went to the ER. Had to stay for the night. But other than that, I'm just cruising. I just found at my age, like that's just, I'd rather be in this game longer. So that's why. And then I have the ES for like days when I'm feeling like a wild man. Like I'm like, ooh, let's go freaking crazy today. I'm going to trade the ES. And one day my skill level may work its way up to the NQ, but my ego doesn't need to be satisfied doing that. I mean, I know I really look up to Trades by Matt. If you've ever seen him, he streams every day. He primarily trades the NQ. But I've been watching that dude trade live every day, just the NQ. He doesn't do any other instruments for literally 7 years. So he's developed a skill set where he can do that. And when he takes hits, he takes $20,000 hits. But he also has $20,000 Ds. That he's an outlier, you know? Yeah, so for me, it's just easier to go low and slow for me. I'm just not that good, to be honest. I'm not that good. And when you trade prop firms like I'm doing too, it's easier to stay. I feel like if you go on Twitter, you're just going to hear people not getting paid and this, that, and the other thing. To be honest, as a former businessman, and I hate to say this, if I had a prop trader and he had a $30,000 payout, like maybe I'm somebody, yeah, I have my prop firm, right? And this guy takes a $30,000 payout. That's a big hit for the company. By finding a reason, not doing it fraudulently, but by really deep diving and looking for a reason not to pay him out, I save a lot of money for what? A bad review and him blasting me on Twitter. Sometimes I think that's what's happening. So when you trade micros and you trade small, you kind of like stay between the raindrops and you stay a little like you don't raise any red flags. And I feel like you just get more consistent payouts. You can call me crazy, but I feel like the only people that are ever really getting denied are these huge, huge profits, whether they're legit or not. But that's another reason I like just trading micros. Thanks, Miguel. Yeah, I mean, and if you want another resource, I learned this from the Futures Fanatic, that the guy's also in the description of this video, Rob Casili. I mean, he's the guy that opened my eyes and taught me all of this. If you go into his Twitter or, I mean, his Discord, which is free in all of his videos, or he live streams every afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern from Tuesday to Thursday. So today he'll stream as well. You'll see this exact same chart. He taught me everything. I can't take any credit. So by following my footsteps, you're following his footsteps and all the people that trade with him. Yeah, I think, and I will say through going on, he said, this will open up a whole new plethora of traders. I'm finally starting to see some, and maybe it's just my algo, but I'm finally starting to see more people talk about the benefits of micros. And it's as simple as like, I'm trading live accounts on here too. No, I'm not. This is all prop simulated. But, you know, I'm still trading micros in those live accounts, and those accounts have $2,500 to $3,000 in them. Maybe 5 is my biggest live account. And I'm not trying to grow it. Every month I just take out my profits across 3 live accounts and all my prop accounts. So it's like, if I'm in a live account with $5,000, $2,500 to $5,000, am I going to trade minis? No. Am I going to trade the NASDAQ? No. So I like to stay consistent across whether it's a prop firm eval, prop firm funded, prop firm live, or regular live. Just keep my little small accounts where I manage risk with micros. So I have seen more people talk about the benefits of micros. And I think with that, we're going to see a lot of people in the shadows that can't come on and post like, hey guys, check out my $15 day. Just had a huge $15 winner. I'd get laughed off of Twitter. And I don't have an Instagram for this. You know, it's like, but for an old boomer like me, and the way I legitimately think about this is I work a 9 to 5, right? And if I had $15.50 across these 12 accounts, I made $186, small day, across 3 more accounts. So we had this. So I'm over $200 for the day if things really hit the fan. And this is a great hobby for me. I'm not trying to do this forever. I got a W-2 job. But the amount of people that like would love to make $400 a day in their W-2 job, but then blast people when they trade and they only make $300 in a day. It's like, what do you mean only made $300 in a day? It's like telling me you only ran a 5-mile run today. Like, that's fucking awesome. So I hope we can start to, you know, expand. Downside of some props have a required minimum daily profit of 150 to be counted towards a trading day. Yes, that is a huge downside, which is why I trade the 25Ks. Because if I traded 50Ks, let's call, I think the smallest I've seen for a 50K is 100. You need like 5 to 7 $150 days. I can't do that. My big days are between 110 and 150. I go over 150, that's a lot. I go over 200, that's a Bigfoot sighting. So like, yeah, another huge reason for me to go to the 25Ks is that. I think with Lucid, I need $100. I need 5 $100 days. That's doable for me, especially in the payout cycle that they have. So yeah, just another huge reason. That is a big downside. Big downside, and frankly, why none of my props are 50Ks. And I've had firms reach out and be like, hey, can we sponsor a stream or something like that? And I'm like, you don't have 50K. You don't have 25Ks. That is definitely something to be said. And this is why we kind of got to shop around prop firms. Like, yeah, I got banned from Apex, but the reason I got banned from Apex is because I couldn't trade with Apex, and I was begging them like, hey, I want to trade with you. But by having a 30-day limit for a guy that trades micros, I can't trade and pass that. I mean, what is this Lucid account? And when I get here, I'll do a whole video, but my Lucid account, I think today's day 23. Yeah, we're trading day 23 of this, which is over a month on a calendar. I started this on 3/9. So today I would have been kicked out of Apex. You know, so I was like, hey man, can I not? And I say, here's my I watch my biggest 3 days over a 20-day rolling period. So we see some of those bigger days. I also keep my averages, my average green day, my average red day. In the last 22 days, 20 of them green, 2 of them red. Like, these are all stats that I take. These are things you should be doing. Between watching all of these and then tracking everything on TradeZilla, it's made me a better trader. Like, you need that perspective. So yeah, I can't get 100. I got $150 day in the last month. So if that's an issue and that's something that's a concern, which it should be, just consider the 25Ks. Simple as that. I'm a fan of slow and steady. Yeah, I mean, everything in my life now is slow and steady, right? I'm in my mid 40s now, and I don't need any help speeding up anything. Life is going so fast. My kids are growing. Like, my dad told me before he passed that the meaning of life was just to enjoy the passage of time. Like, that's our job. Our job is to enjoy the passage of time. And if I can slow things down, whether it's trading or being a dad or anything, that's frankly what my goal is. Slow and steady. I'm an ultra runner. I run 100-mile races. I'm not trying to go that fast. Just trying to enjoy that 24 hours or however long that race takes me. And I'm just trying to enjoy the passage of time. Thank you. I appreciate it. I love streaming. This is really fun. It's a good time. Yeah, the channel is growing. I think I talked about on Tuesday. Not a lot of people know, and maybe you know, I have a channel that has 125,000 subs. How many? What does my main channel have? I don't know my main channel. Let's just go to Brad Fan. My main channel has 136,000 subs. And here's my ultra running if you want to see what kind of weird races I'm running. But yeah, 136 subs. So when I make this channel, when I live stream on that, the chat is like, it's crazy. And there's hundreds of people, sometimes thousands were in there, but I wanted to separate this. So it's kind of nice coming down and having 8 people right now currently watching, being able to actually give proper credit to the chat and give them the proper attention that the chat deserves. And it's nice. But yeah, I definitely want to grow it. Thanks for subbing. Appreciate it. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up so more people see it. And I hope not just to stream. Like I definitely, as I learn, I don't think I'm in a position to make like, here's my strat videos yet. I want to be successful. I'm not somebody that talks about or even reviews props until I get paid out or until I do things. If I pass these Lucids, which I'm under $100 away from passing, actually now with this big $15 winner I had early, look at this beautiful $15 winner. I'm now, what, $85 away from passing? So when I do that, I will talk about the process, how long it took me to pass, pretty much show that spreadsheet that I just showed you guys. And then maybe one day we'll get a payout. And those would be like the types of videos that I want to make. But I'm not really, I don't make videos for affiliate codes. I say no to a lot of people. I don't have an affiliate code, Lucid. Bulenox gave me one because they were kind and they're like, hey, just if you want. And then with the Goat Funded Futures, Wild Wild West. Have no idea what to expect. The Goat Funded Futures is a YOLO. I mean, we're told that we should trade with only money that we expect to lose. I'm giving Goat Funded Futures the benefit of the doubt. But I don't expect anything. It'll be one of those where if I pass and get to a payout and they pay me, I'll be like, wow. But it'll also be good because they're newer and they're not really based in the US. So I'll at least be able to give some feedback because you go on and try and find anybody that's got a payout from them, or if you just look at their Trustpilot, it's bad. So maybe not do that one. What's up, dude? Of course. I'm coming up in just a second, okay? All right. Been on now for a little over an hour. That was my son, who's 6, asking me if I'd go out and have a catch with him. And I am a guy that does not say no to my son when he wants to do anything. Maybe drugs, I'd say no, but he doesn't know that yet. But, Dad, can we go on a bike ride? The answer is yes. Dad, can we have a catch? The answer is yes. Dad, can we play a board game? The answer is yes. But he knows that as a dad, you can't drop anything and run. So I gave him the old, yes, give me a couple minutes to wrap up here, and then we will do that. So I'm going to take a couple minutes here. I'm going to wrap up what we're doing, and then I'm going to go hang out with my son. I kind of want to see, we just had another candle open. I just maybe want to see just a second if we're going to come down and hit this point of control, which would not, I don't think it'd be a long for me right now. I feel more confident. Once again, said it's very easy when we have these rules. I feel much more confident waiting until even the -1s or coming. Probably my first entry is going to be the value area low, which would be probably the first time I feel comfortable with longs today in a low risk setting. Because for anybody that just got here, we need to think about where more potential ads are. So right now, to the downside, right, I need to think about, we have this is way down here. And yesterday's session low, way down here with that Kermit candle that we had here. So I would be thinking we got to enter here. Then I got to enter down here, probably this value area low from yesterday, which is way below. So maybe that's my next two ads would be here. So when I get off here, you'll know if you see this price action hit, I'll be long here. I'll be long at yesterday's. I'll be long at the -2s, and which is pretty much the low. And then I'll be long one more time at the yesterday's value area low right here. Those would be my 3 ads. All right. So if you're kind of curious what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day, that's it. Just putting orders on the lines, waiting to hear order filled, and then going from there. So I'll put those on here now. We got one. Buy.
Order submitted.
We got one here. Buy.
Order submitted.
And then we got one here.
Order submitted.
So that's what my books look like going into the rest of the day. Thank you guys so much for popping in. If I don't pass this today, we'll pass it tomorrow, or we'll pass it the next day. We're in no rush. I appreciate you. Thanks for the questions. Thank you for being active. If you're watching this on the replay, please leave any questions in the comment section below. I'll catch you guys next time.